Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Racing Gaming League. It is round 2 at the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa-Francorchamps. My name is Austin Smith, and we have a fantastic event in store for you. We have 19 drivers. The only one missing is VRT Loney in the McLaren. Apart from that, we have absolutely everyone. And after last race, I think this one is going to be even better. We're going to have to take a look at the standings, obviously, both drivers and constructors. And yeah, and the track. But let's go through the standings first. We have, I hope he gets out of the pits very quickly. Let's see who the first one out of the pits is. It is a Red Bull. Might be, yeah, it is King Alex. King Alex is in P18 in this. Oh no, it is a, haha. I did not expect that. Is it OTG? No, it's Pat. There we go. ILRT Pat is the first one out of the pits. He finished P7 last week, so he got himself 6 points. Pretty good result last week in Brazil. And he is the first one out, but the championship lead, I hope he makes his way out of the pits rather soon. Is the Lithuanian ILRT Thomas. He's still in the pits, he's still chilling, you know, he's still not really moving fast. Same goes for P2 in the standings. That is Renault's Lego Minecraft. You can see him in the timing tower all the way down in P18 if you didn't find him instantly. And then we have third and fourth place. A pretty good result already for the two Mercedes. Pablo Jogla. There we go. There's ILRT Thomas in the Toro Rosso. Our championship leader. Now finally leaving the pits. Pablo Jogla in P4. There we go. Now we got a good camera. And his teammate Andres in P3. Those are the standings, at least in the top 4 right now. Thomas, Lego Minecraft, Andres, and Pablo. Ryan55X, he's also still in the pits. He's in P5 in the Williams. Then we have Samu Bean. He's on an outlap. Let's go to him quickly. In the Haas, he is currently sitting in 6th place. 7th, as mentioned before, ILRT Pat. P8 is a Trench. He's out on hard compound tires. Interesting for sure. Certainly doing just basically some installation laps right now. P9 OTG. He's coming up towards the bus stop chicane. And then at P10, it is a Delima Super. He is the last one of the point scorers in Brazil. And then everyone else behind him is sitting at exactly 0 points. So not really worth it to go through them, but in order, Vaporeon, Honey Badger, Jay Clarkey, Loney, who's the only one who's not here, Best Bob, Thyman. Then we have a new one with MNT Alexandru. He's replacing Lion going forward. Then we've got King Alex, Kettles Dylan, who makes his debut this season here today. He missed the first race. And then we have Scott Rennie, who I think is being replaced by JF Rocher all the way down here. Yeah, indeed. So he still didn't make his debut, but JF Rocher is filling in for him in the second Williams. In the constructors' standings, it is a little bit closer. Because we have the Mercedes, both Mercedes obviously scoring so well with a P3 and P4 last week. We have Pablo Jogla and Andres in the Mercedes leading the championship with 27 points. Toro Rosso only had one scorer last week. That was ILRT Thomas, the winner, so that's 25 points. Best Bob outside the points there, so for him, not really, or not any points. In third place, it's Renault with Lego Minecraft and Kettles Dylan, 18 points, all coming from Lego Minecraft. Williams is sitting at 10, thanks to Ryan's performance. Sammy Bean and Thyman, the Haas drivers, at 8 points. Tied with Alfa Romeo, also sitting at 8 points. Then we got McLaren, Trench and Loney at 4. Ferrari, J. Clarkey, and Delima Super 1 point, and Red Bull and Racing Point are still without a single point after one race. So we already have 8 of the 10 teams with at least 1 point already. So that bodes well for the rest of the season. Remember, we have 9 more races, including this one here at the Belgian Grand Prix. This is round 2 of 10. And let's see, Thomas, meanwhile, puts himself on provisional pole early on. Expect the times to drop quite a bit from here on in. Still 12 minutes, 40 seconds left in the session. And as the track evolves, it gets faster and faster. So expect the ultimate pole time to be in the low 1 minute 42s. And I think Thomas might probably the favorite to achieve that. But yeah, Belgian Grand Prix, the longest track on the calendar, at just over, barely over 7 kilometers long. And I think it needs to be mentioned as well that Spa is one of only 4 tracks of the original 1950 F1, the inaugural Formula 1 calendar, that is still on the calendar. The others being Silverstone, Monaco, and Monza. So, a lot of history here. A track that has been a part of Grand Prix racing since 1925, when Antonio Ascari was the first one to win around what looked a lot different to today. Needs to be said. The 1925 Belgian Grand Prix was not exactly on the same track as we see it today. In fact, the track was more than twice as long. It was 15 kilometers long. And Spa obviously went through a lot of changes over the time. And yeah, it really has become what we know now, the track we know now, in 2007. This layout has been used by Formula 1 ever since 2007. Those of you who have been around F1, have watched F1 for a while, may know that obviously the bus stop chicane looked a little bit different before. That was revamped a couple of times. And it was really more shaped like a bus stop. That's why it has the name bus stop. Because it used to be shaped like one, where you had effectively a double chicane. First a left-right, and then a right-left. So you really had like a bus lane that you were going through, and obviously now that's no longer the case, but we still call it bus stop because we love it so much. It certainly is a track that has its difficulties. I'm going to try and find someone I can go on board with. Yeah, Thyman, he's probably going into the pits, isn't he? Yeah, my luck. Alex? He's taking it slow. We have a Williams behind him. That is Ryan. Okay, we're gonna... he's taking it slow as well. Let's see. Alex goes into the pits, and so does Ryan, of course. I'm really not getting lucky today, am I? Yeah, JF might be our next best bet. If not him, then maybe Alexandru, but he's already on a fast lap from what I can tell. I think JF might be trying to, although no, he's probably on an in lap as well. Yeah, he is. Really, everyone I'm looking at right now is on a lap into the pits. And Alexandru, you see, he's on a hot lap. So let's see at least the final part of the track to see what his time ends up being. I can see obviously. Oh, he aborts his lap, goes into the pits as well. Is he listening to me? Because I feel like I'm being played here. Sammy Bean is too fast. What car is that? No. Goes into the pits as well. Trench? No, he's on a fast lap as well. No, he's not. Okay, here we go. So, start finish straight, not the longest. Not a very long run up to turn 1, La Source, and he takes it slow, but he has to take us around the track anyway, so we can still go. So turn 1, La Source, tight hairpin. I have to get onto the acceleration early here to get a good launch, because from here on in, it's a lot of full throttle. It's a lot of full speed through Eau Rouge and Radillon. He's taking it a little slower here because there's also yellow flag in sector 3 onto the Kemmel Straight. And again, this is normally full speed. He's taking it a little bit slow because he has traffic coming from behind. Let's jump on with Ryan into Les Combes, because he's on a faster lap there. Right, left, right. Very, very tricky. You want to get the exit right here, because you do have a little bit of a run as he also pulls out. And Andres into Bruxelles. That is this right-hand corner, and I'm trying to jump on with Andres. Very long right-hander. Then into the no-name corner, this left-hander here. We're already to turn 9. Pujon. Very tricky one. Long left-hander there. Long winding left-hander. Counts as 2 quarters on the official denomination. Turn 12, 13. Campus section, right and left. Also some rather long corners. Then we get down to Stavelot, 14 and 15. Stavelot 1, obviously you have to brake for. This one, slight lift. You don't brake, you just slightly lift off the throttle. And then we have another long, long run-up. Turn 16 here, I think also has no name. And then we get to Blanchimont, a corner that used to be a lot trickier than it is now. And then, obviously, turn 18, 19, the bus stop chicane. And again, good launch here, early on the throttle, and up to the finish line, straighten it out, and it is P8 for Andres, but only half a second behind provisional pole. As both Vaporeon and De Lima have already retired from the session, so they will both be starting from the very back of the grid. Meanwhile, Alexandra is there. Oh, that's why Vaporeon retired. He crashed on the exit of the second part of Stavelot. And that is something I'm going to try to show you what the issue is there. Nope, that's the wrong Haas. I think Semibean is no. It's not even a Haas. Sometimes it's really hard to tell apart the cars, but there's a Red Bull coming up to the corner. And that would be, yeah, there we go. So we go on board here with King Alex, just to show you what the issue is on that corner. The second part of Stavelot. This is the first part here. A little bit tricky. You can run a little bit wide there, but the second part. And look to the left side. Look how close the wall comes there. Look how close the wall comes there. And that is the tricky part of the second Stavelot. You have to lift through the corner. And if you don't, or if you just run a little bit too wide, you are going to end up in the wall. And that's exactly what happened to Vaporeon there. And that's why he has retired from the session. So, yeah, this is something we're going to have to watch out for in the race as well. Because that is certainly very tricky. What needs to be mentioned as well is that wall cannot be removed. Because behind that wall is a track hospital. It's a rather small one. It's not like a big facility, but it is one of the track hospitals located right there behind the wall. So you can't move the wall, because otherwise you crash into a house wall, into a brick wall, and we obviously don't want that. So that wall cannot be moved, and therefore the drivers have to be really, really careful when they go through the second part of Stavelot. Maybe even more so than the first part. Really, really tricky, that one, as we are almost entering the last 4 minutes of the session. And Thyman is on provisional pole in the Haas with a 142.5. As I mentioned before, expect the times to drop a little bit in the last 4 minutes. I think, yeah, low 142s. 142.2, 142.3. That's what we can expect here from the eventual pole sitter. Whoever it will be. Could be Thyman. Certainly has something to prove after not having the best race at Brazil. And Thomas wants to keep his momentum going with JF filling in for Scott Rennie and sitting in P3. So really good job from him there. Sammy Bean in P4. Remember, he finished 6th in Brazil. And we know he has the pace, so he could challenge for it, as well as Pat Clarkey, Lego Minecraft. He was on the podium. Pablo Jogla, he barely missed the podium. There's plenty of drivers who can challenge as King Alex also retires. So we are down to 16 people who can actually improve their lap time with 3 minutes remaining. Let's see if someone is on a fast lap right now. Thyman has taken the speed out of his lap. Alexander is on an in lap. Most likely. Who's going to be the next one to start a flying lap? It's going to be either... I think it might be Thomas. It is Thomas. So, Thomas is going to be the first one here to try and beat Thyman. We're going to watch this right now. Turn 1. We have yellow flag in sector 1. That's someone going slow out of the pit lane. That is not worrying for Thomas. Let's hope there's... Oh, this is going to be tricky. Yep, Thomas avoids it. Thankfully, there's a racing point going a little bit slow. But that doesn't worry Thomas at all. Staying on the throttle for the whole time. I think they're trying to do some slipstream games here with the 2 Toro Rossos, but that doesn't work. That Toro Rosso, his teammate Best Bob, was too far away there for any kind of slipstream effect, so that didn't work. Timing not that great. And now Thomas through Brussels and then No Name Corner. This section here, quite a tricky one. You want to get this right to set up the run-up to Pujon. Does he take it? Well, oh, wonderful. Just lets it roll through that corner. Dylan also retiring from the session. That is a yellow flag in sectors 3 and 1, mostly sector 1, as his ghost car still going through La Source. That doesn't worry Thomas at all, though, as he is coming to the final sector, and it is purple. 2/10 and a bit up. That would be a 142.4. It would be provisional pole, but is it going to be enough as well? He still has this final sector here to come. He still has the bus stop chicane to navigate. How well does he do that? Oh, that looks really neat and tidy early on the exit. It doesn't straight line it, but it is a 142.3. Gets a little bit more out of that final sector and instantly retires from the session. Meanwhile, we have Thyman here, who's happy apparently with a P2 and the 2 Haas. Both, I don't know if they tangled up, but they have messed it up. Yeah, collision with his teammate. Thyman gets a 5-place grid penalty. So that means JF is going to move up to 2nd place as it stands now. Sammy being up to 3rd. Oh my goodness, it's all kicking off. Both Haas retire pretty much consecutively here, and JF is gonna be the last one to set a lap time, as everyone else is already out. Can he make it across the line in time? 4, 3, 2. Yes, he does it. Yes, he does it. Meanwhile, Alexandru comes across the line. Pablo Jogla into 3rd place. We have a Ferrari coming across the line. That should be Clarkey. He does not improve. Next up, we have a Williams. I think that is, yeah, indeed, that is Ryan 55. Unfortunately, we don't see his 2nd sector split. Comes through the final corner. Straighten it out. 43.1 his previous time, and he goes P3. Beats Pablo Joglar to the line. Next, we are waiting for Andres. Honey Badger retires. Andres approaching Pujon now. Best Bob retiring as well. There's still a couple of drivers out here. Oh, in fact, he's not the first one. Sorry. Let me quickly see. I think... yeah, no, we have Pat. Pat is behind him, so it's OTG. Okay, OTG is the first one we expect from now. And he's 14 milliseconds down on his own lap. So Jay Clarkey leaves the session. That's not good. He needs to rejoin before we switch to the race, or else his car will not... He will not be able to compete. So he needs to rejoin rather quickly. OTG through the final corner. Misses the first apex a little bit there. That's going to cost him time across the line, and no improvement for him. But meanwhile, Lego Minecraft up to P6. And we still have Andres to come. P9 only. Pat stays in P8. JF, what can he do? He's the last one to come across the line. Will he improve? P4 gets one position. Moves up into the second row. And it will be a P4 for JF Roche. And we are waiting for the final standings. And here they are. In fact, it will be a P3 for JF Roche. So we have Thomas on pole position. Thyman qualified in P2 will get a 5-place grid penalty, so he will start down in P7, and it's Ryan in second, JF in third, Pablo Jogla in fourth, Lego Minecraft fifth, Samu Bean sixth, and then Thyman in seventh. So that's how they move up. Pat P8, Andres P9, Clarky 10, Best Bob 11, OTG 12, Alexandru, Trench, Honey Badger, Kettles Dylan, King Alex, Vaporeon, and Delima Super. The last two, Vaporeon and Delima Super, have not set a lap time in this session. So, we get ready for the race. And it looks a little bit gloomy here. It's rather dark and cloudy. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Could we see some rain over the course of the race? The chance, I think, is there. Question is whether we're going to get it. But we're waiting for the drivers to ready up and get underway. Meanwhile, tell us in the chat who you support, who you are hoping ideally wins this race, or at the very least gets a very good result for himself. So, formation lap. All the cars loading in. Takes a while, apparently. Let's give us this. There we go. Alright, so Irelati Thomas, again leading from the front. That's how you want to do that. 25 points already in the championship, and it may be 25 more. Ryan looking to improve his championship standing. Currently in P5, 10 points in Brazil. And he wants to add at least another 18, if not 25. JF currently without any points. So he's looking to get something going here. Pablo Jogla, 4th place in the championship, 4th place on the grid. Apart from Thomas, I think the only one who matched his result. Oh no, Samu Bean as well. 6th place in Brazil, 6th place on the grid. Thyman, as I said, moved down to P7, although he qualified in P2. Pat in P8. Andres, after a podium in Brazil, starting from P9. That is certainly a challenge, as Alexandra has left the session. However, he can rejoin and take control of his car at the start of the race if he does it in time. So let's hope the drivers take it a little bit slower around the formation lap. But yeah, fantastic result for Williams, we have to say. If you look at that, P2, P3, both Williams looking to hunt after Irelati Thomas once the race starts. And Ferrari still struggling. P10 for Clarky, 19 for Delima. No time set for Delima in qualifying. Racing Point also still struggling. Still no points scored this season. Honey Badger and Vaporeon all the way down in 15th and 18th. Red Bull also not the best performance here in qualifying. They also have 0 points with Alexandru and King Alex. However, Alexandru, at least he's in P13, so he has a chance to get closer. And you have to remember, this is Alexandru's first race here in the Racing Gaming League, as he replaces his MNT teammate, Lion, who has left the league. So here we come onto the grid. And then we get ready for only 22 laps. But remember, this is the longest track on the calendar, so 1 lap is rather long. Expect a 1-stop. Let's look at the tires very quickly. Top 10 obviously on the softs. Behind that, a lot of drivers on the mediums. We have Best Bob, OTG, Trench, and Delima on the mediums. We have King Alex on the hards, and the rest is on the softs. So that is the situation as we get ready for 5 red lights. And the Belgian Grand Prix is underway, and it is a really good start from Thomas there. He has the inside already from the grid, and look at that Mercedes there of Pablo Joglar trying to attack the Williams, but JF is trying to attack Thomas into turn 1. Everyone makes it through quite cleanly. That is good. We have a yellow flag. There's someone spun around. That's King Alex, who spun around on the exit of La Source. We go through Eau Rouge for the first time. We see them fly through there. Everything's still looking fine. Alexander hasn't rejoined yet. JF trying to get the first position. Jay Clarkey leaves. He can try to rejoin. JF around the outside. Keeps it to the inside. Spins! JF is off. JF is off, and he's falling all the way down the order. I can't even get there in time. JF all the way down to P18. Very, very unfortunate for him there. But at least he can keep going. And he has no damage either. So it is now on Ryan to try and chase down Thomas. Meanwhile, he has Pablo Joglar behind him. But look at Vaporeon. Look at where he's ending up. 11 positions gained. What is this first lap from Vaporeon? Absolutely flying pace from the man. That is remarkable. Let's look at him right now. Let's go on board. He's challenging Lego Minecraft for 6th. After starting in P18, he's pushing him a little bit. And he goes past. Oh, that looks easy. Thyman as well. Are they making it 3 wide? No. It's just that Lego Minecraft apparently got a really bad exit. Runs wide at Blanchimont. We have a yellow flag, sector 2 and 3. That is for King Alex, I'm pretty sure. Yep, it is. And Vaporeon, after 1 lap, this might be one of the greatest first laps ever in sim racing. Vaporeon from 18th on the grid, already up to P6 as Lego Minecraft goes into the pits. I think that's why he was slow. Probably suffered some front wing damage on the first lap. Let's see what his strategy is going to end up being. He goes on to the hards, and you can take these hards to the end. It's going to be a struggle towards the end, but certainly possible to do so. Vaporeon, 12 places already. And we have a yellow flag in sector 1 that is on the exit of Radion. That is a slow, I think that is Thyman. Yeah. Oh yeah. Serious front wing damage on the left side. If you look at that, not only is the end plate gone, but part of the wing itself is gone. So, yeah, you see that right there. Fantastic view. Something must have happened. We have a safety car. We have our first safety car of the race. Is it due to Alexander? No, he's a ghost car. No one can interact with him. No one can spin him out or anything. But we have our first safety car. The question is, what are the leaders going to do? Who's going to come into the pits and who's going to stay out? Thomas, Ryan, we have the top 8 all the way down to Honey Badger, all on the softs. And I have to say, Vaporeon, fantastic first lap. Finds himself in P6. I can't believe that, honestly. What does he do? What has he done? I would like to see that POV after the race. I would like to see a recording of this. Ryan goes in. Is he the only one? It seems so. Nope. Vaporeon goes in. Pat goes in. That means Honey Badger has to stay out because otherwise the racing points would double stack. However, OTG's Delima comes in, even though he's on the mediums. Trench stays out. Clarkey double stack for Ferrari, and I don't think that's a good idea. JF, Kettles Dylan coming in. Best Bob stays out. Alexandru stays out. Thyman comes in again. Lego Minecraft, I think, will stay out, and King Alex will stay out as well. Nope. Lego Minecraft comes in as well. After a second place in Brazil, he's really struggling here so far, all the way down the order, trying to get rid of these hard tires. The thing is, for Lego Minecraft, he has his strategy done already. Whatever he does from this point on, he can treat this like a sprint race. And try to choose the quickest strategy possible, and he goes on to the mediums, as most of these runners do. Delima and Clarkey, the Ferraris, both go on to the hards. King Alex stays out, and here comes Lego Minecraft out of the pits. stays ahead of King Alex right there. And that's everyone out of the pits. So, IRLT Thomas behind the safety car leads the way. Pablo Jogla and P2. Andres recovered very well to P4 right now, as he was starting all the way down from P9, so that's already a pretty good drive. However, you have to remember, some cars went into the pits. Ryan, I think, is probably looking the best out of these drivers who went into the pits already, because he's on the mediums now, and he's in P7, only 4 seconds right now behind Thomas. Obviously, that doesn't really matter too much, as they are behind the safety car, so the gaps are a little bit arbitrary right now, but let's hope everyone can catch up to the safety car. I would expect if we do get a safety car message, we get it when the safety car is effectively right here on the track. We don't get it this time, so the safety car will probably stay out for another lap, because usually the safety car notification comes out between the two Stavolo corners. And this time it didn't, so it can, sometimes it can come later in the third sector, but I doubt it at this point. So yeah, it would have certainly come by this point. And so safety car does stay out for another lap, so Lego Minecraft and King Alex have the opportunity to catch up to the field, as they most likely will. And then we have another 18 laps of racing as Honey Badger and Trench now move into the pit lane. A little bit too late, but Honey Badger had no other option, because obviously Vaporeon went in first and he didn't want to double stack. Although sometimes under the safety car, the double stack might be the smarter option. Sometimes there are situations where the double stack actually does work. You can see it with the Lima and Clarky. They're still behind each other, even though they double stacked in the Ferrari pits. So that worked out for them. But yeah, it was looking so good for Williams, with Ryan and JF in P2 and P3 in qualifying, and now, or on the grid at least. But now P6 and P14, and it is the Mercedes who find themselves in very high positions once again. And yeah, it feels a bit like Brazil all over again, with the Mercedes just doing so well. And I do get a note right now from Alexandru that he cannot rejoin the session. He gets an error code that says the session no longer exists, when it obviously still does. So very unfortunate for Alexander. His ghost car is going to drive around in P8, but effectively count him out, as he is disconnected and is unfortunately unable to rejoin. Very unfortunate for him. Let's hope that next week goes better for him. For those of you who are not aware, next week it's going to be the German Grand Prix, so watch out for that one. Hopefully we do get some rain and we do get the ice rink in the final 2 quarters, but unfortunately I don't think it's been modeled that way on this game. Would be fun though, but expect the safety car meanwhile in this lap. We're going to get the notification right here. Yes, we do. I'm a magician. What should I say? Safety car comes in this lap, and from this point on, it's RLT Thomas dictating the pace. He is the one who decides how fast this group of drivers is going to go. No overtaking until the finish line. There's no safety car line or anything like that, as we had years and years ago. No overtaking until the finish line. And when does Thomas restart this? Not yet. Look at the green bar down on the bottom right. Now he goes. Now he goes already into the bus stop chicane. Very early restart there from Thomas. And it seems like he caught everyone a little bit napping there. Pablo Jogla being the first one to do so. And look at how much the field is already stretched out. Simon gets a 5-second penalty in the final corner for exceeding track limits. I don't know how he did that, but that might be removed coming or after the race. However, it will stand for now. And RLT Thomas doing a fantastic job at a restart out of absolutely nowhere. and stretching the field already. Look at the gap between Vaporeon and De Lima. That's almost 2 seconds between the two of them. And Vaporeon himself is over a second away from OTG, and Best Bob is... Oh! OTG and King Alex both retired. What happened there? On the right side, someone collided there. I think there was Best Bob involved as well. Yeah, look at that front wing. Best Bob and OTG came together on the Camel Straight. OTG into the wall. He's out of the race. Best Bob has no front wing left on the left side. He's going to try to nurse that car around the track now. Really, really slow. He's holding up. Cars behind him. Oh my goodness. We have another safety car. We have another safety car because of that incident on the Camel Straight between OTG and Best Bob. Second safety car of the race. My goodness. And now the question becomes really, how is Thomas going to approach this safety car restart? We're going to get another 2 to 3 laps. First off, the question is, who comes into the pits now? I would argue the soft runners, Thomas, Pablo, Sammy Bean, Andres. Amazingly, 3 Spaniards and a Lithuanian. Not often that you see that kind of a nationality grouping. But I would say those 4 soft runners should all come in. And Thomas does, and Pablo does not. He fakes it. Sammy Bean goes in, Andres goes in. I would assume that Pablo and Andres are in communications right now in a PlayStation party. And so I would assume that Pablo probably told Andres that he's not going in to allow Andres to go in. And now Pablo is setting the pace a little bit, coming up to the safety car right here. Safety car now picks up the pace. And yeah, Pablo stuck out for at least one more lap. Maybe he's hoping for a third safety car. But almost everyone came in. And for Vaporeon, all of a sudden, again, remember, starting in P18, he finds himself in second now. Who would have thought? The Racing Point coming from second last on the grid to second place in the race after 6 laps, or 5 laps and a bit. What a drive so far it has been for Vaporeon. And his teammate Honey Badger also in P7. So the Racing Points, after having an abysmal race in Brazil and an abysmal qualifying here in Belgium, all of a sudden, they look like they're going to take a whole bunch of points to the factory. It's absolutely fantastic. So, how long's the safety car going to stay out? We're not going to see it come back in at the end of this lap. That's for sure. However, I would assume that the safety car does come in at the end of the next lap. Remember, we're going to get the notification as the drivers go through Stavilo. Don't expect anything this lap. This would be a little bit early because we only had 1 lap under the safety car. Although, if JF catches up with the rest of the field by the time they get to the second sector split, which is in between the 2 Stavilo corners, then we might actually see the safety car come in at the end of this lap. Possibly. I doubt it, but he has caught up. Yeah, we still don't get it. Okay, so we get 1 more lap, but I think that's going to be it, because all the field is caught up now with the safety car. And therefore, we don't, we don't have to prolong this process here. Obviously, we all want to see those guys racing. We don't want to see them struggle behind the safety car and just be slow. And JF and Kettles Dylan have apparently come together. I don't even know what this is. Damage. Oh, massive damage on the right side there. End plate gone. And a significant portion of that front wing gone as well. Is there anything left of that front wing? I mean, just the base, really. A little bit of the base, both go in. My goodness, what has happened there? How can you collide with someone under the safety car? I do not understand this. And yeah, I'm very surprised and also shocked. What needs to be said, look at this camera right here. Look at the sky. Remember early on, at the start of the race, it was kind of cloudy and overcast. the skies have cleared up, so expect no rain, at least for the foreseeable future, until it grays up again. If it does, then we might see some more rain. But yeah, JF meanwhile goes on to the softs. Not sure that's the smartest option here. Maybe he's just trying to take away the fastest lap of the race. I'm not sure. But yeah, look at those different tire compounds as well. We have a soft in the lead, Pablo Joglar, as he decided to stay out now. Vaporeon and Pat on the mediums in second and third. De Lima and Jay Clarkey, the Ferraris, looking really good as well out of nowhere. On the hards, we have Trench in the only McLaren today on the hards as well in P8. And then everyone else pretty much medium runners with Alexandru. We don't really count him because unfortunately he's unable to reconnect to the lobby. And Best Bob on the hards and JF on the softs. Apart from that, everyone's on the mediums. That is the preferred tire here. Let's hope we get this race back underway at the end of this lap. Through the campus section right here. Turns 12 and 13. And then Stavilo 14 and 15, and we should see it right here pop up in the bottom left. Yes, we do. And again, as I said before, I'm a magician. No, it's just obviously clear programming and experience, really. But that time now, Pablo Joglar dictates the pace. And it's going to be Ardley Thomas in P9. Remember, he restarted the first safety car period. He's down in P9 as King Alex has left the session. He has retired already, so that notification, nothing really to watch out for. His car's already out of the race. How is Pablo Joglar going to approach this? When is he going to restart? Still taking it slow, still bunching them up. Yeah, he's still taking it slow. He doesn't have to accelerate out of the final corner. He accelerates now out of nowhere. Again, he pulls at Thomas only a little bit later. And this time the field is not as spread as it was before. Still spread, but not as much. Thomas already overtaking someone before the line. Has to give the position back. And he does so. My goodness, and it bunches up behind him there. And he goes to the inside and gets a little bit of a harsh move on Trench there. Gets the position though, and that's Thomas already up one place. Andres also goes past Trench there into P9. Meanwhile, up ahead, we see Pat and Vaporeon, I think, battling this out. And we have another yellow flag. Kettles Dillon retires on the exit of Radion. On the top of the hill. That is at least a yellow flag in Sector 1. Will we get another safety car or VSC? Because that car is in the middle of the racetrack, as it seems. And this is not where you want to have your car parked. Everyone's past it, though, so it might be enough to remove... Yep, the crashed car has been removed, and there's no VSC and no safety car. So, we can keep on racing. Unfortunate for Kettles Dillon. His first race of the season ending in a DNF. For OTG, his second race of the season here being a DNF, and same with King Alex. But Pat and Vaporeon are really close to each other, and Thomas is closing up to Lego Minecraft. Remember, these two battled it out for the win in Brazil. Here, they're fighting for P6. How the tables have turned. Thomas really not in a good position here because Lego Minecraft also gets Slipstream off of the Lima Super. Tries to send it into... No, he doesn't. He got closer there on the brakes, but didn't send it. Vaporeon fastest lap of the race. That's how you can tell. Thomas beats him, though, by less than a tenth. So that means you can see the pace on Vaporeon. He's really fast around here. Here goes Thomas on De Lima and into or out of La Source. Gets the position. Same with Lego Minecraft. They both made it past. Oh, Thomas runs wide on the exit of Radion. Keeps the car in check, thankfully. Does not bin it there. De Lima with the attempt. No, just shows himself in the mirror. to maybe force Thomas into some kind of mistake. Meanwhile, Samuel Bean into lead comb, taking the position off of Andres and the Mercedes. Honey Badger watching on from behind these two. Fantastic racing going on right now here in many places. It's hard to see. It's hard to keep track of what is going on because there's so much battling right now. Trench and Thyman in 13th and 14th are also battling. And I think there might be Thyman going for an overtake soon. He seems to be close, but he's not there yet. And Thomas and Lego Minecraft, I think they're trying to pull closer to Jay Clarkey, the other Ferrari, after they overtook the Lima Super. And there goes the Lima past Samuel Bean. Nope, Samuel Bean past the Lima. And yep, that's another position. De Lima really not having the pace. Here comes Andres. We go on board with him as he's maybe looking to attempt an overtake on De Lima. Nope, he lifts off deliberately to not attempt it. De Lima gets a 5-second penalty for corner cutting and doesn't get a good exit out of the bus stop chicane. However, Andres not close enough to overtake. I think he wants... There's no DRS yet. Remember, we've gone almost half the race with no DRS because DRS is disabled for the first two. Oh, there we go. Andres goes past De Lima. De Lima with an absolutely abysmal exit out of La Source. And here we go through Radion. Let's see what Honey Badger can do. Oh no, we do have DRS disabled. My bad. We do have DRS disabled, enabled now. And De Lima goes back past Andres because he was behind on the detection point. Actually, smart play here by De Lima, I have to say. Being deliberately behind on the detection point, which is before Eau Rouge. And there comes Ryan out of nowhere, taking the position off of Honey Badger, putting him down outside the top 10. This is a fantastic scrap here for P8. De Lima forming a bit of a train here, as it seems, with IRLT Thomas and Lego Minecraft. There goes Andres as De Lima runs wide, and that is one position taken. That is one position taken. So Andres up to P8, trying to pull away from this group. You can see him already pull away. No DRS here. The only two DRS zones are Star Finish Straight and the Camel Straight. And we have a virtual safety car. What has happened this time? Thyman is out. Where? Oh no, this is where Vaporeon crashed in qualifying. This is where Vaporeon crashed in qualifying. At the track hospital. The second part of Stavolo. Right here, let's look on. No, we can't see it anymore. His car has already disappeared. But right here is where it happened. And I think he hit the wall and Thyman is out of the race. We are on a virtual safety car. So, to those of you that don't know what virtual safety car means, all the drivers have to stick to a delta time. They cannot run faster or else they get penalized. So, it slows down the cars a bit as we leave the VSC now, as we get out of it and back under green flag racing. So everyone back up to full speed. But under VSC, you take it a little bit slower because you have to stick to a certain delta time. And if you run faster than that time, then you are going to be penalized with, I think, 5 seconds. A 5-second time penalty. Obviously, depending on the severity, you can get multiple 5-second penalties there. And, yeah, Dylan Kettle's in the chat there. Remember, he DNF'd earlier. His entry in the time tower is in P17 right now. Probably won't change either, obviously. But he says in the chat that he lost it in Eau Rouge. So, yeah, we kind of figured your car on the minimap showed up on the exit of Eau Rouge and pretty much left on the track at Radion. And so we kind of figured that was the case. Meanwhile, Thomas and Lego Minecraft closing up on Clarky. Attempting into the bus stop. Nope. Nope. DRS straight coming up right here. Not a good exit from Thomas, though. You can see Clarky pulling away. Not the best exit, so this is really not an overtaking opportunity here for the Lithuanian in the Toro Rosso. Even has the Lithuanian, look at his helmet in the very bottom of the screen. Even has the Lithuanian colors on his helmet. That is a true patriot right there. As he is now getting the DRS and he's getting ready to overtake. Oh, this is going to be easy. This is going to be absolutely easy. This is like taking candy away from a child. And Arleti Thomas moves up into 4th position. However, what's important for him now is that Lego Minecraft and Samya Bean did not get past Jay Clarkey. So he has clear air in front of him now for almost 4 seconds of a gap to Arleti Pat, his Arleti teammate. However, here he's not his teammate, as Pat is in the Alfa Romeo and Thomas is in the Toro Rosso. So here they are rivals. But 4 seconds gap that he's probably looking to close. Meanwhile, Pablo Jogla still going strong on those softs. Remember, those softs have 2 safety car periods in them already. So, not that bad in their condition, actually. You can usually take those softs anyway around 10 to 11 laps. And under safety car, obviously, they don't wear as much. So, Pablo Jogla could still go on for quite a while into this race. Chuck on the mediums towards the end and then just, you know, run it home. Question is, when is that crossover point? Pablo still stays out on track, so he doesn't enter the pits. As Lego Minecraft now finally into the bus stop chicane, makes the move on Jay Clarkey. He goes up into P5. And now I think Samya Bean is going to be the next one looking, and he sends it into La Source. Touches the rear of Lego Minecraft, who holds it fantastically. Lego Minecraft, great piece of car control right there. Samya Bean overcooked it a little, but in the end, really, no harm, no foul. However, Lego Minecraft now struggling after that bad exit that was really forced on him by Samya Bean, and he's going to make it 3 wide. Look at this. Oh, and almost. Oh, it is 3 wide. Into Lake Com. That doesn't go well. And 2 of them, Clarkey and Samya Bean, have to take the emergency exit. Samya Bean takes the position, has to give it back though. Game tells him to. However, he sends it, and Samya Bean is spinning around, losing front wing as well. That move was never on. He was trying to be really cheeky, give the position back, then instantly take it again, and it really didn't pay off for him because Lego Minecraft was really not playing any games there, and he wanted that position and he took it. So Lego Minecraft up in P5, trying to chase again after Thomas, who has closed the gap to Pat now to under 3 seconds. Again, over 3 seconds now a little bit. Obviously fluctuating a little bit here and there. With Pat in the slipstream as well, by the way, of Vaporeon. These 3 at the very front here are within 1.2 seconds of each other. They all get the slipstream of each other, and they all get DRS behind Pablo Jogla. So Pablo obviously doesn't, but the other 2 do get the DRS. The question is whether Vaporeon Pablo Jogla misses the breaking point. He misses his breaking point. The question is, was that deliberate or was that accidental? Because Pablo Jogla now has the DRS. Because the DRS detection point is after Eau Rouge. So he gets the DRS on Vaporeon. This might be a smart defensive move from Pablo Jogla, deliberately missing the breaking point, letting the other guy through to then use the DRS and take back the lead as he does. What a move. If that, I'm going to ask him after the race whether that was accidental or deliberate, because if that was deliberate, that was fantastic race strategy right there from the Spaniard. It looked so deliberate because he didn't lock up his tires. That's what I found so stunning, because usually if you miss your braking point, if you miss your braking marker, you do tend to lock up, but he didn't. There was no smoke coming from his front tires, or from any of his tires for that matter. So really, I think this was deliberate by Pablo Jogla. Question is whether he's going to do that again. He still has 8 laps left as soon as he ends this one to try and keep the lead as long as possible. He also needs to go into the pits. Or, let's see, or was he? No, he needs to go into the pits. 0 stops. Everyone else If you look at the race director, everyone else has used different compounds and has had at least one stop. So everyone else has already been in the pits at least once and has used the 2 different compounds they need to use. So they're clear to run it to the end of the race. Pablo Jogla isn't. But my goodness. Again, look, this time he lets Vaporeon by on the exit again. Oh, this is fantastic stuff. Pablo Jogla is an absolute fox. And he gets the DRS. Look at this. He gets... And Thomas, meanwhile, caught up to them. Here comes Pablo to the inside. Vaporeon doesn't even fight it because he knows what's going to happen. Oh, my goodness. Pablo Jogla going slow on the exit deliberately to be behind at the DRS detection point. Oh, this is fantastic stuff. And it's for those of you who may have questions, it's all legal. It's all legal. And it's just incredibly smart by Pablo Jogla. Deliberately slowing down slightly, only slightly. Getting a bad exit out of La Source, out of the first corner, to then be behind at the DRS detection point and then get the DRS and re-overtake your opponent. The question is, I mean, Pablo has to come into the pits. Why is he doing this? Is he trying to hold these guys up so Andres might get involved? Because he still has to pit. He has nothing to gain from this. He loses time from this. So I don't really understand it, as fun as it is. If he was in the challenge for the win here, yeah, this would be fun. This would be fantastic. But he needs to go into the pits, and he runs deep, and he still stays out. Oh my. Guys, look. Oh, and there goes Vaporeon, and there comes rain. Rain is coming down. It is raining here at Spa. What is happening? Everyone's going to have to come in at some point. And Pablo running wide there. He will get DRS if it is still enabled. As soon as the message comes out in the bottom left, the DRS is disabled. That's when the intermediate tire becomes the better tire. Thomas, meanwhile, up to P2 now, and everyone's going to have to pit. That's why he was battling like this. He knew the rain was coming. It has come. Unbelievable. Pablo Jogla is an absolute fox. I have to say that again. Incredibly smart strategy here. He's still fighting for the lead and the win. He's in P3 right now, obviously struggling with his old soft tires now in the rain as well. Absolutely incredible. And Trench has switched on the intermediate tires. He went into the pits. He's the first one to do so, but it seems like they're still too slow. He's losing time to Delima. He's losing time to the leaders as well. So at this point, he is still not in a position where the intermediates are faster than the dry tires. The question now becomes really, is it ever going to be raining enough for the intermediate tires? Because look at this, it's really only very light rain, and there goes Thomas into the lead. Before Blanchimont, we have yellow flag in sector 3. Instantly gone again. I don't know what that was for. JF with a 3-second time penalty. He's currently sitting in P7. And here we go, Vaporeon into the pits. Thomas stays out. Thomas takes these one more lap. Everyone at Andres stays out as well. Mainly to avoid a double stack here. And hoping that it's still good enough for the softs. Remember, we didn't get the notification for DRS disabled yet. So right now, at this point in time, the dries are still slightly quicker. As Bestbo gets a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. I think that was in the final corner. Everyone on the Inters now. Thomas and Andres still sticking it out. You gotta respect them for that, I have to say. Oh, it's gonna be so agonizing to drive. And safety car! Safety car! This saves Thomas and Andres! This saves Thomas and Andres massively! Unbelievable! If I was Thomas, I'd floor it at this point. as much as you can because you have to stick to a delta. But I would floor it right now. Because right now, this is the best time to go into the pits. What is the safety car even for? I don't understand. No one has been... no one has retired. I don't get it. I don't get it. But this saves, absolutely saves both Thomas and Andres, who are now going to battle for the win. That is remarkable. And Vaporeon is going to be behind them. Lego Minecraft, we're going to have a sprint to the end. Oh, this couldn't be any better. We're going to have probably a 4-lap sprint to the finish. Maybe 3. Depending on how quickly the safety car comes back in. But Thomas now into the pits. Or does he stay out? Nope, he comes in. We still didn't get we didn't get a DRS disabled message. However, we won't get it because it is now safety car. So we don't know when the best time to switch on to the inters is. But probably now. If I had to bet, I would say now. So, Thomas in the pits, Andres in the pits. They both go onto the inters. There is Thomas. He gets out of the pits again, and he remains in the lead. And Vaporeon moves up to second place. However, Andres now out of the pits, and Andres takes back second place. Or does he? Oh, yep, he does. Vaporeon had to slow down. He was trying to cheese the second place away there. But Andres just timed it perfectly to get the second place and keep the second place. Wow, that was close. Because on the pit exit, you are allowed to overtake a car that comes out of the pit lane before the white line on the pit lane exit ends. If you do that before the white line ends, then you are allowed to keep that position. However, Vaporeon was close, but not close enough. Didn't get it, and then he had to stick behind. Very unlucky for him. But yeah, we are ending this under rain conditions. Light rain conditions, thankfully, but rain conditions with Thomas, Andres, Vaporeon, Lego Minecraft, the top 4. Pablo P5, JF P6, Clarky in 7th, Honey Badger 8th, Ryan P9, and Pat in 10th. This is going to be exciting. Samuel Bean in P11, I think he's looking to get some more positions out of this. Best Bob in P12, Trench 13th, the Lima 14th. I think they're pretty much out of this. Maybe Best Bob might be able to at least close up to the rest of the field. They are far behind. Samuel Bean right now is quite a bit behind the rest of them and needs to somehow close up. Will we get the message safety car in this lap once they come through this next corner, through this right-hander coming up here at Stavolo? Let's see. No. No. We didn't get it. We're going to have another... As Ryan gets a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits. I don't know how he did that. I think on the exit of the first Stavolo corner, the first right-hander there, I think he ran too wide. So we're going to get another lap under the safety car for DeLima to catch up. Well, Alexander is not going to catch up, let's face it. He's in Lake Combe right now as these drivers go through or go on to the start-finish straight. So we're going to get 3 laps of green flag racing at the end of the safety car period. 3 laps. A 3-lap sprint to the end with Thomas leading the way, Andres in second, Vaporeon third. This would be huge for Racing Point. Vaporeon in P3, Honey Badger in P8. We're talking 19 points. Hold on, who's got the fastest lap? Because that's not going to be beaten. That is RLRT Thomas right now, and with those conditions, it will remain RLRT Thomas with the fastest lap. But that would be, right now, 19 points for Racing Point. Remember, they didn't score a single one in Brazil. The only team to remain without a point because of the DNF of the retirement of King Alex and because of the disconnect from Alexandru is going to be Red Bull. Oh, the nerves must be high. I've been in that situation before. I've been sim racing for 15 years. I've been in that situation before. The nerves are high when you're in this spot where you know it's just 3 laps, a dash to the line. No DRS either, by the way, because it is raining. So even on the final lap, there's not going to be DRS as the conditions do not allow for it. But 3 laps of just trying to defend, trying to hold on, or in the case of Andres, Vaporeon, Lego, Pablo, and everyone else behind Thomas, trying to somehow get at least one more spot out of this and improve your final position. But yeah, let's switch this to this right here. Because we know the tires on everyone. It's intermediates. It's either 1 or 2 lap old intermediates because they all came into the pits for this a lap or 2 ago. So we know the tires and they're not going to be an issue. What is going to be interesting is, my God, Vaporeon, I have to say, from 18th onto the podium right now, if he somehow... Let's check the penalties. Let's check, because we still didn't get the message safety car in this lap. Are we going to get another... Are we going to get another lap behind the safety car? Thomas, no penalty. Andres, no penalty. Vaporeon, no penalty. Lego Minecraft, no penalty. Pablo Jogla, no penalty. JF, he served that 5-second penalty in the pit stop, but he does have 3 seconds. And yep, the safety car stays out. 1 more lap. That is amazing. So JF has 3 seconds. Jay Clarkey, no penalty. Honey Badger, no penalty. This is fantastic. Ryan, 5 seconds. Yeah, he didn't serve that. So that's a 5-second penalty for him. Pat, no penalty. Sammy Bean, 3 seconds. Best Bob, 6 seconds. Trench, no penalty. DeLima, wow, 18 seconds. However, he did serve the first 5-second penalty at the first pit stop, and he did serve another 5-second penalty at the... So he's on 8 seconds right now. Because he did serve the rest. But, yeah, not that many penalties as Andres, by the way, in the Halloween helmet, the pumpkin helmet. Certainly interesting. I mean, it is about as far away from Halloween as you can be on the calendar. About 6 months. You know, we're 6 months away from the last Halloween, and we're 6 months away from the next Halloween. So, not so sure about that helmet choice, Andres, but, I mean, you do you. However, I do rate the number 42 on his car. He has the answer to the universe and everything. I'm sorry, I misquoted that a little bit. I know, don't at me. But you all know the reference. But does Andres have the answer to everything here tonight? 2 is his current position. 1 is the one he wants to get. 2 is the amount of laps he will have available to do so. Or is it? Are we going to end this under safety car? I hope not. Alexander, meanwhile, has also caught up to the rest of the grid, by the way. Somehow. His AI is still in this, amazingly. But yeah, very unlucky for Alexander, obviously. Can we get the notification now, please? Safety car in this lap. Bottom left. Yes. Okay, we do get 2 laps of green flag racing in the rain here at Spa. 2 laps to decide who's going to win this. No one has any penalties with I think the exception of... Oh, I don't even remember anymore. There were only a couple drivers who have penalties. Everyone in the top 5 at the very least, no penalties at all. So this is going to be straight decided on track. Nothing is going to be won or lost on the green table. And here we go. Safety car restart by Thomas. Keeps it a little longer this time. And now he goes into the bus stop chicane. Oh, takes it fantastically. Very, very nicely. And here we go. 2 more laps. Thomas has pulled quite a nice gap to Andres. Andres has pulled an even nicer gap to Vaporeon, who's really struggling out here. JF goes for a move, and Pablo loses part of his front wing, and Pablo goes straight back past as well. Oh, completely overcooked it. JF just over aggressive here and loses part of his right side end plate. Can he still fight? I mean, it's not that bad actually. He only lost the end plate. He didn't lose anything else. And there he goes. Oh, tried to get to the inside. Has to pull to the outside at the last possible moment and gets squeezed. Lego Minecraft with the penalty. Lego Minecraft with a 3-second time penalty in late. Oh, but look at them. Look at them running wide. Pablo, Jogla, JF running wide. And it's Jay, Clarky, and Honey Badger capitalizing on their mistake. They're battling too hard. Jay Clark, he says, thank you very much for that 5th place. I'll take that every day of the week. And especially on Saturdays here at the Racing Gaming League. But meanwhile, Lego Minecraft, he's trying to pull a gap on everyone behind, and it is already up to 2 seconds. Make that 2.1 between Lego Minecraft and Clarky. He has a 3-second time penalty right now, but that might not be all too consequential. He's not going to get involved in the fight before him with Vaporeon, Andres, and Thomas, but he's certainly gonna try to keep 4th place here, and he's certainly gonna get a good result if he doesn't bottle it on the final lap. Andres, meanwhile, he's dropping off. Thomas is just too quick, looking to make it 2 in a row. Sammy Bean gets another 3-second time penalty. He's on 6 seconds now. Sorry, 6 seconds. But that doesn't matter. He's in P11 anyway. JF into the pits. Why would you do that? And he retires altogether. Why did he not stay out and try to fight this for 1 more lap? I do not understand. He goes into the pits to retire, and that promotes Sammy Bean into P10 and now into P9 as he overtakes Ryan as well. Meanwhile, Honey Badger and Clarky. Yellow flag sector 1. I think that's gone already by now. It's for Alex. No, it's not for Alexandru. I think it's for JF. Although his car doesn't show up. Yeah, I don't know. But Honey Badger, as the rain intensifies even more now, and Andres really falling off the pace of Thomas. Sammy Bean retires. That is in Lake Combe. Yeah, that's on the left side somewhere. Can't see him. Where do we go now? Yeah, Honey Badger. We stay on board with him. Oh, you know what? We look from the outside onto Clarky. Meanwhile, it is RLT Thomas leading the way through the final lap. This is the final lap already. It felt like it absolutely... The race flew by. And now, final lap of the race, and RLT Thomas is taking it into the final sector, and all he has to do is not get a penalty in the bus stop chicane and not spin or anything like that. It's all he has to do. Don't run wide here. Blanchimont does it nicely through the bus stop chicane. 1 more corner to navigate. Oh, that is just a fantastic line through there. Keeps it away from the curbs and everything. And it will be RLT Thomas back-to-back wins for the Toro Rosso. Andres in P2. Vaporeon from P18 keeps P3. The last second charge there from Lego Minecraft, but Vaporeon in 3rd, Lego Minecraft 4th, Honey Badger 5th, Pablo 6th, Pat 7, Clarky 8, Trench 9, Ryan 10th. He gets the final point. DeLima 11th, no points for him again, unfortunately. And Best Bob P12. Unbelievable. Sorry, DeLima, I said no points again for him. Obviously, he did score 1 point in Brazil, but... no points for him this time around. Sorry for misspeaking there. But it is RLT Thomas once again taking the top step of the podium, but this time with some other drivers right next to him. And I have to say, Vaporeon, my goodness, he set this podium up on the very first lap by gaining 12 spots from 18 to 6. This, from Vaporeon, I have to say, was a drive for the ages, as well as Thomas did. Obviously, him now effectively being the dominator of the series of the Racing Gaming League on the PS4. But my goodness, Vaporeon from 18 to 3. Hats off to you, my friend. Andres in second place. He solidifies second place in the standings now with 33 points. Thomas getting a perfect weekend. Pole, race win, fastest lap. He did it all. 26 points to his name. He's going to be at 51 now. Andres, as I mentioned, at 33. Vaporeon, his first 15. Lego Minecraft will be at 30. Honey Badger gets his first 10 points of the season. Pablo Jogla will move up to 20 points. Pat will move up to 12. Clarky gets his first 4. And that is the result of the Racing Gaming League Belgian Grand Prix. Round 2 of 10 is now in the books, and what a race it was. Wow. I'm exhausted from commentating. And that tells you everything you need to know. We are going to be back next week here on the channel. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to follow RGL_2020 on Twitter. Make sure to leave a like on this video. And we'll be back next week, as I mentioned, with the German Grand Prix. It's my home race. Unfortunately, I'm not racing. Although, probably fortunately, because I'm not near the pace of these guys, I would be all the way down in last, and that would not be fun, would it? So, German Grand Prix next week, same time, 7:30 p.m. UK, always on Saturdays. And as I said, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, follow at RGL_2020 on Twitter. My name's been Austin Smith. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.